Well, it's funny how things come full circle. I mean, one day I get a call from Peter, maybe 2 weeks ago, and Jarome's going to announce his retirement, and he's just going to put a press release out. Thank God he didn't put a press release out. I mean, it would have taken away from all this, but that's where he is. He's humble. Everything he does behind the scenes, giving back to the community with his time, financially, helping people. That's just the way Jarome always was. I mean, and for me personally, to see the kids here now, I mean, we grew up with them all the different Christmases and holidays, and, it's still a tough day for me because you think Jarome's going to play forever, and he's not going to play forever. He's human like the rest of us, and now he's hobbling around with a new hip, so that really proves it. But as nice as Jarome is, I think I kind of don't agree with Jelly on the way that whole Vancouver thing went. I was not so happy. He told, right before the face-off, he said, Craig, push the puck forward, I'll grab it, shoot in the empty net, game over. I'm like, that's a good plan, I like it. So I push the puck over, he grabs it just like the plan, he misses the net. I'm like, seriously? He's already got 2 goals, how can he not have the third? And then, if anyone's really seen Jarome skate backwards, there was no stick. He just fell. For one of the greatest player of all time, he can't skate backwards. The boys could probably beat him right now, and definitely Jay can beat him. But he could probably tell you a little what was going on in that locker room between, maybe it was just me and him, but we had a little sidebar, what was really happening. But when I think of when I first got traded here, it was a little nerve-wracking because that year Jarome was nice enough, one of those 2 fights? He definitely beat me. He beat me up the year in St. Louis, jumped me, but he still beat me up. Tyson Nash got beat up by Rob McGear, so we were sitting in the box thinking that didn't go well. He's like, no, we still won the game, but we lost the fight. So when I first got here, Tyson Nash said, hey, Jarome Iginla is one of the classiest human beings you're ever going to meet. You're going to love him. I got here, and what does he first say? We got enough checkers. We don't need another guy like this. I'm thinking, boy, this isn't going well. This guy beats me up, and now he doesn't want me here. But I remember the first time, it was a fortunate thing for me and an unfortunate thing for Mark Savard. Mark Savard got hurt in Detroit, and I got put on the line with Jarome. And as we're sitting there on the bench after one of the shifts, he said, hey, if you want to dump the puck, you can go get it. We're not a checking line here. We're here to score goals. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, you just dump the puck in my corner. I'm not going to get it. You can go get it yourself. So I thought, oh, okay, well, perfect. So about 4 or 5 shifts later, I don't know if you remember Jarome, I came over, I held it this time, I threw it over to Jarome, and he just one-timed it from just inside the blue line and scored. He's like, that's what I'm talking about. So that was kind of the start. We had a great run, and I mean, as I look, all the different things, we became fast friends once we got going, and he decided he liked me a little more than he did at the beginning. But, I mean, the one thing he could do was always elevate his game. When we needed him, hey, we didn't have a bunch of stars. We had Kipper and Jarome, and when we had needed him to do something, he did it, and he didn't talk much in the locker room, but when he did talk, mostly put a towel over his head and hid. I don't know what he was doing under there. But when he took that towel off, it was game on, and as nice as he is off the ice, he was a true competitor on the ice, and whatever. If it was, we needed a fight, if we needed a big hit, if we needed a big goal, I mean, he was there to do it. And for about 3 or 4 years, I don't think there was a better player in the NHL. I mean, and we had him here in Calgary, and I think at times we did take him for granted. But you know what? His goal was always to bring a Stanley Cup to the Calgary-Flames, and it's disappointing that we weren't able to do it in the 2004 run, but he definitely did everything in his power, humanly possible, to do that. And even though we're never going to see him on the ice again, maybe we'll get him a couple alumni games, but not to have him out there and playing, and it never felt right for me. I'd see him come back in a different jersey, and it just never was the same. So to know he's going to retire a Calgary Flame today is pretty special. And I mean, I could go on forever, and I know he hasn't slept in 3 days, so I want him to get to his speech. But for me, it was, everybody said, what was it like to play? It was a true honor. I mean, it really was. I got to play with some great, unbelievable players, Hall of Famers, but I was more on the team. I didn't get to actually play on the ice with them. So for Jarome, shift in, shift out, to be able to line up next to him, it was a true honor. And anybody who got to play with him knows what that feels like, but it's going to be disappointing not to see him on the ice anymore. But I want to congratulate you on everything and wish you good luck in the future.